Professor Timotheus Valdez.
Alberto Crane.
What's up, man?
Just hanging out, man. Just enjoying the school, enjoying being back and in your presence.
How was the training today, this week?
It was awesome. Sore.
How many times did you have you trained jiu-jitsu this week?
3 times.
You got here when? Today's
3 or 4 times.
Today's Tuesday, right? Tuesday, yeah. You got here Sunday? No.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah. So
lifted weights.
Did some
tack fit.
Jiu-jitsu. All the good stuff. Everything Burbank has to offer.
You going to Texas after this?
I'm going to go to Texas, do a little more training over there, and fly back home. And
visit Draculino.
Yeah.
See Cliff, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, see Cliff, see Tom, see all the old school guys. Maybe go out to dinner if some place is open. Hopefully, I think everything's open in Texas. So
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, I go Wednesday, right, to Austin.
Yeah.
As well. That's cool. Yeah. You have the picture of the first Draculino seminar at the gym back from I think it was 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
So 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was the first time I ever met Draculino. I was like, whoa. I remember everybody was like tripping on his black belt.
Yeah.
Joe Duran was like, hey.
Yeah,
like,
that's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah. Remember, I run into
because I mean to be any kind of colored belt at the time was a big deal, and then to actually have a black belt, especially in New Mexico, right, a smaller town too.
Right.
That was like unheard of.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool. Everybody was in that packed room. Made that room look so small because everybody was in there.
Yeah.
That was cool.
How old were you when you first went to Brazil?
I think I first went in 2001. So I was like 15, 16, something like that. Yeah. So I've lost track just so long ago.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Alexandre and those guys. His younger brother, right? Brenio
and Thiago. Yeah, those guys.
It's crazy.
They took care of me when I was out there.
Yeah.
For sure. I would never met those guys if it wasn't for you, man.
Yeah.
Those are some of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life.
And then you taught the kids classes in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all them, remember all the kids, they loved you.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 7, so yeah.
Or you used to being the big brother.
Yeah, I'm used to taking care of kids, and I had to be there for all my brothers and sisters. So yeah, I'm kind of used to nurturing but still being kind of a little fun, and not being too I was like a daredevil, always getting into something and always surviving something.
What do you think you would have done without jiu-jitsu? I've asked you that before.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it saved my life for sure, and if anything, it opened my mind up to like the world. I just get the confidence you get from it. Yeah,
because you had never traveled internationally, right?
No, never.
Have you? Yeah.
No.
Or like just local, right? Maybe to Vegas or something.
Yeah, maybe to like on vacation to Disneyland with my parents, but like never like especially never like traveling and then having to like perform.
Yeah.
That's like it's like a vacation, but you're like nervous all the time.
Yeah. For tournaments, for like the world championships and
like cutting weight and not being able to eat.
You used to wrestle, right? You grew up wrestling.
Yeah, I used to wrestle when my dad started signing me up when I was like 5. So me and my brothers, we took a liking to it at an early age, and I remember my dad would take us to all these tournaments, like as many tournaments as he could. Yeah. But there wasn't really that many. But I remember my dad used to get pretty pumped seeing us train, and then when we went to the New Mexico Academy, with Dr. Montedo, and I met you. Yeah. I didn't want to go to that school.
He called me up and did. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to go
because he was Brazilian, the owner and the head. I guess principal, right?
Yeah.
The headmaster. What do they call that?
Yeah, Master Montedo. Yeah. He's a cool guy, man.
Saw an article of us doing jiu-jitsu. He's like, hey, that's what I want.
Yeah. And then like when I signed up for the school, it was 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and I was just like, oh my god, I was coming from Santa Fe High, and it was intense.
Private school, specializing in math and sciences, right?
Yeah. The curriculum was like crazy, and I didn't even know if I understood it, and I had all these tutors, and it was rough, but the only thing that got me by was like knowing that at the end of the day that I get to jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And they take us in a bus and just get away from the school,
I took you guys to tournaments, right?
You took care of us, bro.
Yeah. And me and Alshani, we went to your school. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was before Alshani spoke English.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a mat. It was just like on the linoleum. Yeah. I think it was a linoleum. It wasn't even a carpet.
Like that, yeah.
Maybe it was carpet. They had carpet, huh?
In the
It was like
classrooms,
they built that school from scratch, right?
Yeah. It was like that thin carpet, like on top of concrete. Yeah. We were getting. That was fun, man. Those were good times.
That was 21 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, how fast time flies.
Yeah, we got to travel around. How does it feel? Like just looking back, I have your picture, that picture of Draclino coming downstairs with you in it. Like just reflecting back.
I'm just grateful that I got to be a part of it all. Seeing like Draclino perform, like when he was teaching classes at Gracie Baja, like in the gym in Rio Sports Center. Just I feel like grateful that I was a part of all that. That being able to see like win the worlds and just going to all the tournaments and seeing you just like throw down with open class, because there wasn't that many weight classes, so you had to go against everybody. And I just remember holding the video camera and just feeling so proud of you.
Yeah.
It was just a blast. Everybody couldn't wait to see you get on the mat. And
what was the craziest moment that you crazy moment in jiu-jitsu that you remember, like one of our jiu-jitsu trips?
One of the crazy a memory that I have is when I think it was with Valdez actually, and we were driving to Vegas and it was snowing, and like the snow was like you couldn't even see the cars in the road because the snow was just hitting the windshield so fast, and he was wiping it, and then all of a sudden the semi, all you hear is Valdez, guys, wake up, and you hear him like, what the fuck, and then like this semi just blasts by like going like 100 miles an hour like in the snow, and I just woke up and I was like, oh crap, I was like, I hope we make it over here, and then so it was just a trip, like that was like a set, like I just seen that semi just blast past us, and then I was like, that
was an old Grappler's Quest, right?
Yep.
That we went to.
Yeah. I've never ever seen a car pass us that fast in a snowstorm. But that Sam, do you remember that? Like it shook the whole car, like blew up almost.
I don't remember.
I might have been asleep in the back, but yeah, that memory like really stood out to me. And then he was like, 10-2, like all the whole way down there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was fun. That was a good memory. Another good memory was a crazy memory was when Draclino was about to perform to compete, and the night before, I guess like Leo had like an episode.
Oh, the epilepsy. He had a seizure.
He had a seizure, and like Draclino was like stayed up all night with him, and he said, I didn't sleep last night. Like I can't. He like apologized to everybody, but yeah.
You weren't in the room with us though, right?
No.
But the ambulance came and stuff and picked him up, pick up Leo.
Yeah, I just remember wrestling with you in the back seat of the car right before that. That was fun. Yeah, but I have so many memories, man.
What about Brazil?
Brazil, too many memories in Brazil.
I'm trying to think. Do you remember like Valdez coming back, like gambling all night long?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, like all night, and then
you were pretty young at the time.
Yeah, and then that was he like gambled, and then he ended up.
He was like addicted to gambling, and he was like roulette at the time.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember. Yeah. I remember in Vegas he was out there and then he had to compete again. He ended up like going against like Jeff Munson, right?
Right.
Yeah, and like
he didn't sleep all night.
Yeah, and he
got back like 6 a.m.
Yeah, almost beat him, right?
Yeah. They should have beat him.
Yeah. And he had, I think Jeff Munson
took him down. He put him on his back when he was like Abu Dhabi champion.
Yeah.
Nobody took him down.
Yeah. So yeah, that was impressive. He was eating like bowls of cereal like on the way down.
Frosted Flakes
with like the whole box, like with the whole gallon, with the whole like, pint of milk. 29-cent cheeseburgers. Remember that?
He ate McDonald's. He ate McDonald's for 6 months.
Yeah.
He stayed 6 months. He's like, I'm going to save money. I'm going to eat McDonald's for every meal.
Yeah.
And he like 29 cents, whatever, 39 cents, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 6 months. He's like, man, it took me like, I think like 5 years, to lose the weight, to detox. He told me years later, it took him 5 years to detox. It did so much damage to him.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Draclino came by and he was making fun like that his pants were so tight. They were like ballerina pants. You couldn't even grab them anymore because his legs got so big.
Yeah, they're funny, man. They love McDonald's, man. They love their McDonald's. It's like a delicacy out there, I think, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's maybe a little bit better, right? A little healthier. I don't know. I'm not sure than the U.S. Maybe they have less drugs in them. I don't know.
Even when I was
less chemicals.
I was helping Dr. Montero with his trees, and like the first 2 meals he brought us was McDonald's. It's like my cousin John's like, man, I don't eat McDonald's, and I was like, just eat it. Like it's Brazilians love McDonald's. You know, that's their go-to.
Right.
So yeah, he was laughing.
Man, that's so funny because Valdez stayed out all night gambling that one night, and then he gambled, right? And he's like, I have a system, and he's like, man, I was doing good, and then an Asian guy came and he messed up my system, you know, and then he couldn't he borrowed money, went to the ATM, like cleaned out his account, you know, and like he was like so much in the hole, and he came back, you know, like whatever it was in the morning, and he's like, man, I messed up, you know, and I ended up losing like and borrowing money, you know, that night. And then, but he had a crazy match with Jeff Monson, you know. And I think he won some money at that tournament because it was like for money.
Yeah, he needed it.
Oh man, he was addicted to gambling, and so there was all those casinos in New Mexico, right? And so he had worked, and he was doing some we had some different gigs, right, where he could do security and stuff, you know. And so he had saved some money or made some money. And then right before Tomas, I don't remember Tomas, but he was driving him to the airport. And he's like, hey, stop by the casino. And he's like, oh, man. And so he stopped by the casino, and he went to the roulette table. They went to the roulette table, and he pulled out like a wad of cash, like I don't know how many thousands of dollars of cash, you know, they had saved up over the last, I don't know, 6 months or whatever since that Vegas trip, you know. And he put it all on black, boom. And the balls was spinning. Do you hear the story?
No.
Yeah,
I never heard this.
And it spun. Tomas was like, oh my God, you know, it was like a lot of money for us, you know, at that time. And then boom, it stopped on black. And so he doubled his money or whatever it is, the odds are. And he, you know, so he made it back. He made the money back that he had lost.
Lucky.
Yeah.
That's like that's living it on the. That's dang. We
got to hang out in Vegas like a couple years back for the Master Worlds. He was there, and he had that look in his eye still, you know.
Yeah, that's real gambling, dude. That's real gambling.
But he's doing, you know, he's a real smart guy, right? He's like the head of like a big company, you know, in Brazil. So he has money now. So I didn't see him gamble, so maybe he's not doing that, you know. Yeah. But what an experience, man.
Maybe he learned his lesson.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Cool, I remember all the guys. I remember when I first got there when I was young. It was such an eye opener, especially coming from like northern New Mexico. You you live in a small little town, and then you go over there and you realize like the money that you have in your pockets, like, you know, 4 times like better, and then you notice like how like felt like I was free out there. I felt like you know, I didn't have my parents out there. I could go wherever I wanted, and it was just an eye opener for sure. Just seeing like the kids, like how people lived. Like not everybody lived like you know, the way we simple, average Americans. Right. People live simple there. There was people like a lot of poverty I saw, like kids in trash cans.
That you hadn't really experienced
I never
before.
experienced that before. That was like really, really
eye-opening.
Eye-opening, yeah. It kind of it brought everything in perspective of my life. And
appreciate more what you have.
Yeah. Just seeing like kids in trash cans, and like all the trash cans, and then there's lines of kids like waiting to get in those trash cans. It was just kind of like, yeah. And then like seeing how the police were, you know, just if you did, like we were crossing the street one time, and I guess somebody had reported us because we weren't like in the area. We were new to the area, and so police came and they saw us crossing the street, and they pulled out like AK-47s and like, let me see your IDs, your passports, and so we gave them their passports, and I was just like, I'm American, and they had the guns. It was like,
was this in Rio? Or
it was right across like from
Belo Horizonte,
like right across like down the road, like from where Alexandra lives. Like his dad had an apartment there at the time. Yeah, and so we were going in and out of that apartment.
Okay.
So I think somebody had called and said like, who are these people coming in out of the apartment? So the police came to check on us, because that's what they said. They're like, we were just checking.
Did they try to get money from you? Or
no, they just once they saw that we were like American, they were like, okay, just check you.
You never know, right? Over there.
But man,
the crime
guns,
stuff.
The guns, you know, I was like, I never had a gun pulled on me before.
Put your face
by the police, like, and so it made me realize like, wow, you know, back at home, we got it made. You know what I mean? With the police we have, we got good police. We got like a lot of order. A lot like law and order. You know.
Yeah.
But just
there it's a free for all. There's no rules over there.
No rules.
Makes you appreciate, right? Like
for sure.
you know, any kind of police kind of kickback or whatever. Not police, but police like brutality or whatever. Like there is no.
Yeah, we're spoiled here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what police brutality is. Like, go to some of these foreign countries and you know.
Yeah.
We're so lucky here. We got like freedom of speech. You can do it. Like, but I feel like people like from this country, they just take advantage. Like they just. Like they want more. They want like the freedom.
We're just spoiled. We don't know, right? We don't know. Yeah. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah.
We're kind of spoiled, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like it's crazy. You know?
So you don't have it, right?
Yeah. like if they say like this country's like, oh, I don't like this country. It's like, well, what are you doing here? Like, get out, you know.
Yeah.
It's the best country in the world.
But going to other countries, you kind of appreciate more.
It. Yeah, for sure.
What we have, you know, we just take it for granted.
For sure.
Until you go to a place that doesn't have the same things that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, this is the only country I want to be. You know what I mean? I mean, I like traveling, but when it came down to it, you know, no matter how divided we are and what the differences we think we have, you know,
we're all the same. We're all connected.
Yeah, we're all connected.
Jiu-Jitsu kind of.
We all bleed the same color.
Yeah. That's it.
So.
Yeah.
But as Jiu-Jitsu is like, it's a game changer. So if anybody's like out there thinking about whether I should train Jiu-Jitsu or not, come to Legacy, and you'll be in it to win it for the rest of your life. And
what do you appreciate about being a big brother, of, you know, being the oldest of 7?
What I appreciate most.
I don't know if you ever think about that.
Yeah, what I appreciate most about being like the oldest is kind of what I learned. Like, it forced me to be like a leader, you know. Like it forced me to step it up because I had to make like decisions that affected like my younger brothers and sisters, you know, especially like when coming from like a divorced family, like when my mom was maybe like at work and we were kind of left alone. When I was like a teenager, like I take my brothers like, hey, we're hungry, let's go to walk to McDonald's or somewhere. So we'd walk, you know, and I'd have to like make sure that they were all like on like leaning towards like the street, not too close to the street, but like not, you know, and just because Greg was only like maybe like 3 or 4. So we'd go on these little missions, and it kind of made me like it made me realize like I got to look after these guys, you know, because my mom's at work, you know, my dad's not here because my parents are divorced, and kind of forced me to grow up and kind of take charge, you know. But at the same time, like it gave me a lot of like free time, so it was like I got into a lot of trouble sometimes. You know what I mean?
It was a different time, right? Different era.
Yeah, we'd ride our bikes across town, and so I just enjoyed like, you know, getting a chance to being the oldest kind of can suck at the same time too, because I feel like my parents were the most strict with me. So like my brother Greg like got away with like more stuff than I did when I was younger, but my parents got more relaxed as they had more kids. But at the same time, like I'm grateful because my dad was just looking after me, and I kind of realized that like if he didn't have like that firm grip on me, I kind of might have gone off, drifted and done some things I shouldn't have done, you know, because I was always like kind of like the type of kid, like personality, like you tell me like, you know, you can play all right here, you know, just don't cross this line. I'd like play like right at the edge of the line, like, you know what I mean?
Most kids, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how
push
it
the
was.
Boundaries.
Yeah, push the boundaries. And yeah, my dad was very, very patient, especially considering he was, you know, a single dad, you know. So I look up to him in that aspect. He could have been like drinking. He could have been like doing all the like, you know, things of like living for the world, living for himself. But he like chose to like buckle down and like be there every day. Like he'd show up for lunch every day, play basketball with my friends. You know, he would work, you know, and then take time to come, rather than like be selfish. You know, it's easy to be selfish, you know, and just be like, this is my time. But he really, really buckled down and said, you know, I want to raise solid kids, and I think he did a good job, you know.
Your games and playing with you, and just staying connected with us. You know, he had every excuse. Sometimes you can let depression just get the best of you, especially if you come out of a relationship. You can let it like take everything from you. But my dad was like, no, he saw, like, you know, even with my sisters, he's like, I don't want my daughters to be like bitter at me because of the way I raised them. So he made sure like that all the brothers like respected their sister and respected the fact that she was a female, and that she's not, we can't treat her like one of the guys. We gotta treat her like she's a female, and you gotta like be chivalrous when you're with your sister, and like respect, you know. So respect women, you know. So yeah, my dad was really about that.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, sure.
He says he didn't trust us with anybody. He didn't trust. Yeah, we weren't allowed. Like, yeah, but for some reason with you, yeah, he was just.
Yeah, I asked him. I was like, man, how'd you know like to trust your kids with because I was 23 at the time, I think. Yeah, 23 when I started the gym, and you guys are like like his kids. It's like, how did you trust me with your kids? To go on. One of the trips was like at night, in the snow, right. Like traveling to Vegas, and he's like, I don't know, you just had the look in your eye.
Yeah, the tiger.
And, well, just I was like, I was serious, and I was gonna take care of you guys.
Mm-hmm. You could tell. Yeah, it's a really good judgment of character. My dad, like.
Yeah, I was like, because I was,
Yeah, for sure, you were on it. Yeah, and you were always like taking care of us. I never felt like unsafe when I was around you. Even now, like this is my home right here. Dude.
Yeah.
Well, home. Like you're like if there's my dad and then there's like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you.
So
man. You're a beautiful little boy, Kenneth. Yeah. Kenneth
James, after my pops. Yeah.
Kenneth James.
So yeah, he's surviving this pandemic. He was into basketball, and then when the minute the sports kind of thing, there was no games, and kind of lost interest. Now he's into Spider-Man, but hopefully when all the games start picking up again, he'll start picking up his basketball. And he put a gi on for the first time. Yeah, with me, I was doing some privates at the gym, and he put a gi on, and that was a pretty cool moment. Because at first, he never wanted to put it on. He just didn't.
Shy.
I don't know. I tried hey, come put the gi on, and he's like, no. And then like he was like, I don't know if he was afraid of it or because he knew what it like represented. You know? Like but like he finally put it on, and I took him to the academy the other day. Thinking like he's gonna watch me train, but he just cried the whole time I was training. Ben like grabbed him and was like kind of like, it's okay, man, and all. I was training, and the guys were real supportive and stuff. But yeah, he didn't like to see me on the mat. I thought I was gonna be pumped.
Yeah, I think my kids have been around it so long that it's just like second nature,
Yeah.
But yeah, Sevan is really cool this weekend to see him like want to be on the mat to help assist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he climbed up that mountain. Yeah, that hike was awesome.
Yeah.
That was like a hike, like like.
Oh yeah, we climbed a mountain too. Early in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, and we went like.
No, that was like man stuff,
The Navy SEAL route.
The Navy SEAL route, yeah. Because usually the running canyon is I think it's like a walk, like super comfortable.
Yeah.
But we went up the Navy SEAL route. Yeah. It was like straight up like.
There was no hikers there. Like we saw the hikers from like the normal hike.
Yeah.
Crossing when we got to the top, and then you're like, I think we did another. We did another one. Yeah.
I just followed the Google Maps, but whatever. It was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, that was where like the runoff was. Like it was awesome though.
Yeah, it was cool because we got right at the top, right when the sun came up. Right, that was perfect.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sevan, he's got a lot of you in him. I could tell. Like he didn't complain. He was like, my back was hurting too, and he's like, my back. Give him a little adjustment.
Little baby adjustment.
Yeah, little baby adjustment. Like right, like bum. How you feel good? All right, he's ready. And
let's go.
Better, good.
Man.
So he's tough, man. He's got that crane blood, bro.
Man, you were sharing with me like just the process of your son, of like how he was born and stuff.
Oh yeah, IVF. That was intense.
Because I want to have more kids, so I was like, we were just talking about it, Yeah.
Anybody that's ever done IVF, they know it's stressful.
What does IVF stand for?
Fertilization. I don't know. I don't know actually. I should know.
IVF, right? Yeah.
They call it in vitro.
In vitro, okay.
Artificial insemination. That's kind of what it is. But yeah, it's intense. It's expensive. It's intense, and just the hormones. I think it's more intense for the female, obviously. Like because she's the one carrying it. But like I felt equally like since I was like putting my money down on it.
Yeah.
It's like gambling. It's like real gambling because like you're giving the doctor like all this money and you're like praying that like you get pregnant, and sometimes it doesn't always work out.
So like they get the eggs, right? And then they freeze them, and then they add the sperm.
Yeah. So the first thing they do is they get these embryos, and then they fertilize them with sperm, and like they do this thing called ICSI where they actually pick out the sperm, like the certain sperm that they want.
They like shake it up.
Shake it up. They do this process.
And they get the best sperm, the ones that are still swimming straight after they shake it up. After the strong ones.
Yeah, after the ones that are just like bumping their heads into the wall, so they get like the ones that kind of look like they're maintaining. They pick those. They artificially inseminate them, and they let them grow to like day 5. And when they make it to day 5, then they freeze them. And they take a biopsy. The freezing process is called cryo.
They fertilize the egg. They let it, mature for 5 days, and then they freeze it.
And they freeze it, yeah. And then once it's frozen, they take a biopsy and they send it to a lab, and then that's where you get the
to make sure everything's good.
Yeah, they count the chromosomes and they check to see if like male or female.
Right.
I'm sure there's more. They can go more in depth with the DNA.
That's crazy. But, that's crazy, right?
So we ended up with 3 boys and 1 girl, and we chose to put the best egg that was in there, which was Kenny. So we have 3 more frozen in the lab, and I never stopped thinking about that, So
we're just saying it. How like it's not the age of the female, right? It's like the egg. It's the egg.
The egg quality.
The egg quality.
Yeah. So I tell women that in their 30s, I still want to have kids.
Because I've seen like the moms carry the baby of their daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the women's age. It's the egg quality that they produce as they get older. It diminishes, right?
Right. And that causes like miscarriages and stuff and complications and stuff. So you want a healthy egg. But yeah, science is crazy, I mean, Melody was able to have a kid with her tubes tied. They went around, went around everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so she's a trooper, though. Melody's a trooper, giving her all those shots.
A lot of love,
Yeah. She's,
oh my God.
She's tough, man. She's like to get to take those needles and like every day and those trigger shots and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like so like. If I was to show you like how many, like it would be like a bag full of needles for Kenny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For just 1 round.
Yeah.
Every day injecting legs and glutes and these are all hormones to make your body and that's feel like before, it's pregnant. Yeah.
That's even before, and then having the carrying the baby and then having the baby.
Yeah, and then the pressure, I'm sure Melody was like, I need to have a baby. I want to give this guy a baby. He wants a baby. So I couldn't she worked out through the whole pregnancy, like lifting weights, like she was boxing, like training, like she stopped training jiu-jitsu obviously, but up until then she was like doing jiu-jitsu, and when she got the baby inside of her, she started like doing boxing, and she didn't stop all the whole pregnancy, and then it's probably one of the reasons why everything worked so well.
Yeah, you guys had the after school program, everything's on lockdown, right, in a way.
Yeah, since March, we've been shut down. It's kind of hard to have an after-school program when there's no school.
There's no school, yeah.
So hopefully they figure it out. The politicians figure it out, and realize that these shutdowns and all these lockdowns really aren't making a difference. It's just driving people crazy, So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they're talking about giving us the green light to open because the kids are going to go to back to school, like through stages.
Yeah.
So I guess like the first stage.
Back into Mexico.
Yeah. So hopefully they open the restaurants again and everything just goes back to normal, because I don't think there's really anything.
I was there for Christmas, right? And I was joking with you that I went, we went to went to pick up some food at a place, and there was a table outside. New Mexico, Santa Fe is cold in the winter. And there was a breeze, but there was a guy sitting outside, and it was so cold that you could see your breath, kind of cold.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, he's like sitting out there, like.
He's probably soaking everything in, like just wanted to go out. Yeah.
Yeah. Sit down outside, but you have to sit outside like that,
Yeah.
And I guess they have tents, right? The kind of outdoor tarp tents. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's like the tarp companies must be making a fortune with all these like autonomous zones. Like everyone's buying tarps, you know what I mean?
Man. Crazy.
Yeah, like tents. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. You can't eat in a restaurant, but you can eat inside of a tent with no ventilation.
Yeah. Here in SoCal, it's easy, right? Because the weather is pretty much always nice. Mm-hmm. But New Mexico and northern New Mexico, at least,
Yeah, especially now because it's like our warmest days are like 45 degrees, 50 degrees.
Yeah.
And
I can't even imagine like New York City,
No.
how it is over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a disaster all over, people.
Yeah.
Government trying to tell people like what's essential and what's not essential.
Yeah,
it's sad, but
yeah.
We'll
go back to
we'll roll the punches, and then you know, do what you got to do. But you know,
to keep going.
Yeah, always stand up for what you believe in. That's all we can do, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine having breakfast at like 35-degree temperatures, you know, in the morning, you know. But people are doing it. People just, you know, they want to, you know, they get tired of being at home.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
let's go back to jiu-jitsu. So going back to this, you know, our Santa Fe gym, or Santa Fe Jiu-Jitsu Academy. What are some of your favorite memories? You know, because it's already been, you know, it's been like 20 years.
My favorite memories about being at the academy is just one memory was fun was that always sticks out was that Denver trip where with Lauren and
your brother
Lauren and what was the other guy's name? Was it Chris? The big guy,
kid,
the big kid. Yeah, they were just going back and forth, and you finally got like tired of it, and you're like, well, I'm gonna let him put the boxing gloves on, and then just seeing Lauren like jump up there with one glove and just. Boom.
Oh yeah,
that was
trying to get them to stop.
Yeah, trying to get them.
They'd
to
always
stop.
pick on Lauren, your brother, because he was like smaller.
Yeah.
But he was like the toughest and craziest, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Another good memory was just man. You know, the best memories was when we go to those tournaments and just seeing everybody like prepare. You know, being like nervous because you had to perform, but just seeing how well everybody did. You know, like especially under your leadership. You know, and just. Everybody seemed like they trusted you. Like those when like Robert Vasquez was there. I remember like when everybody was, and like you were starting to form the team.
Yeah, we chartered a Greyhound bus, right? Mm-hmm. Like a full-on passenger bus, you know, with all of our team.
Yeah,
one of our guys was the owner, right? Mm-hmm. And so we chartered a whole bus to go out to Vegas one time.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah,
just like those are the best memories. Just seeing like. Because you'd always compete last, you know, because you were the black belt. But just like I remember, like having my medal and just soaking it all in, and just you know, and then knowing that you were going to compete after and tear it up. It was that was like the funnest.
That's crazy, man. Huh? We have to like you coach, you know, and then you're tired from just coaching, right? That's the whole job, and then you compete as well, you know. Mm-hmm. But you know, you love it so much, you find a way, right?
Yeah, and you did it. Yeah, you'd be up there screaming, and then before you know it, you had your gi on, and you were.
For a lot of years, it's crazy when I think about it, you know.
Yeah.
And then I did MMA fights like that too. We promoted some fights just to get our guys fights, you know.
Yeah.
And then I would fight in that as well, you know. After.
Yeah. Just seeing all the like the preparation.
And I did that out here too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like 6 schools, man. I don't know how you did it. Sometimes it's like.
I love it, man. I love it. It's crazy. Get people around me.
Yeah.
Like you.
You've always like juggled so like. To me, like you've inspired me because it's like if Al can do it, you know, like shit, like you know, there shouldn't be no reason why I can't do it because like I learned from that guy. You know, if anything, like who did he learn from? You know, he's learned from Drac, but Drac wasn't by his side the whole time he was in like, New Mexico. You know, he wasn't like shadowing Draculino like at his gym. You know, like I always thought like man, like what Al showed me, what I learned from Al, like you know, that's like priceless. You know.
Yeah, it's cool because I started the after school like pickup program. In Santa Fe, right? Back before I moved to California, and you picked it up, you know. It was so cool, you know. And you're doing like big work, and you know, like you can see all the kids and the service that you do for the community. It's really cool, you know.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I never really thought I would be like have an after school program, and like I never thought it was going to turn into what it turned into.
Yeah,
but I never knew I was going to meet like
took action,
fall in love with a school teacher.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so like it just happened, and like I had the school. I didn't have the after school program yet, but it made sense because Melody was like working with some of the kids at the school.
Because you did all the activities and your relationship with the kids, and then she did the tutoring, right? She has a master's and well, she was she's master's in early childhood development and like education, and she does well with that. Like she's really good with kids. Yeah, both you guys. I would for sure I would have brought my kids to.
It was perfect. Yeah.
To you guys, you know.
Yeah, it was a perfect formula for success because she had all her credentials to teach kids. Her specialty was like teaching kids how to read. That's where kids like have the hardest time in school. Is if you can't read, you're not going to understand the material. So she was really good at helping kids read, and that was really rewarding for parents. And then you know the kids would, you know, they start excelling in not only jiu-jitsu, but their grades would go up, and so parents were like super grateful. And we had kids that would start in for like when they were like in kindergarten and finish all the way until they're like 6th grade, you know. So hopefully, hopefully everything goes back to normal, and because I miss it, man. I miss it.
Yeah. Miss the people, right?
Yeah, I miss the people, the relationships, and just just seeing the kids every day and just
seeing them grow up and
the parents will like send me like pictures of the kids every once in a while.
Yeah,
they'll be like, we miss you guys, and it's crazy like how like older like they grow like that, and then
in 2 years or a year even, right?
So I always think like how how my perception of you, you know, like when I was a kid, and I always think like I want these kids to look at me the same way I look at Al. So like it's not a pressure because I know I'm a good person and I know like I'm there for them, but I would only hope that like what I pass down to them and the way I look at you, like they look at like they look That's
at
awesome,
me. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so
inspire them, right?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
You do.
For sure. Yeah. I always
talk
about
my son, you know, like you're my kid's godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know you've been around pretty much since the beginning, you know. They're little babies, you know. Diapers,
diaper changing.
Diaper change, organic baby wipes and organic diapers.
I remember when I first came down like a while back. This was maybe like 3 years ago. You're like, this guy changed your diapers, and he looked at me. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I did actually. Well, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because my parents like they're always like, you know who this guy is, and I'm like, no, and I was like, this guy's changed your diapers, and I'm like, really? And I was like, okay, no, close to you. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So,
I was gonna say, man, just going back to the Santa Fe Jiu-Jitsu Academy. What are some like just memories, like feelings you have when you just reflect on, you know, because you know when they moved to the new location from the old gym, the old building, you know, like you went back. And you told me that, you know, like I wanted to go back to show my respect, you know, to the, you know, place that you kind of grew up and, you know, you spent a lot of time of, you know, your life in, you know, and put your heart, your blood, sweat, and tears into, right?
Right.
So like, what did it mean to you? Like, why did you want to go back? What did it mean to you?
I just wanted to go back just to, cause I don't know, there was so much, my memories there, you know. There's so much of my life. I spent so much of my time there, so much of my like energy, you know, kind of even like to where I was even dating girls and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go train, and I'd like leave them. So like I was like sacrificing to be there, you know, and I just felt like that was the right place for me to be. And then once you moved, and then I kind of went to Florida and went to New York with Breno, and when I came back, I was training over there, and it like, I don't know, I just missed you so much, you know what I mean? I couldn't, when you train under somebody,
right? I know,
like you know, it's hard to kind of
maybe get attached.
Yeah, and then
normal.
You can go to all these other good schools, but it just doesn't feel the same, you know? And so like, to me, it was just, the only thing I could do was open up my own school. And
but like, what kind of feelings do you have? Like, what did you think? What do you think about when you think about those times? You know, like
I just think about how blessed I was, man.
Like, what memory? What feelings do you have?
I just remember going over there and just feeling alive, because like what you were showing me, like, and then like getting the opportunity to practice it on like a police officer, or just practice it like on somebody big, or like a bodybuilder. It was just like, it was all the
empowering.
Yeah, it was empowering. Yeah, like when you'd see like a big guy come in and I'd be on the mat, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, this is our school. You'd give an orientation, and then he'd do the first time class, and then all I can remember thinking about is like I wonder, I'm gonna be grappling that guy, that big guy soon.
The skinny
guy.
Kid.
But then like I knew like what I was about, you know, and I like believed in my training, and I believed in everything that you were teaching me.
Yeah.
So when it came time to do that, I remember I look in your eyes and I could be like, all right, you're gonna train with this guy, and then I would just
represent.
It was just
push like out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you know, and then it was great because this guy would see the power of jiu-jitsu, sell it, you know, and then sign me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if I walked into a place and I was a big bodybuilder and
some skinny kid,
you know, like made me tap out, I'd be like, I need to learn this because, you know, look what happened, you know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I was, the confidence I was getting was like super. That's what I needed, you know, because it made me realize like I could be anything I want, because it's so easy for people, like especially coming to the public school system, for you to feel like you're not good enough, or you're not or you can't do something, you know. Jiu-Jitsu kind of taught me like I can do anything I want, you know. Nobody's gonna tell me that I can't, that I'm not good enough, because you know, That's just not
whether you're a slow reader, if you're math or
dyslexic or
whatever.
Whatever.
Learn disabilities.
It didn't matter, you know. It's like I wasn't supposed to tap this guy out either, you know, and I did. You know, this guy was 100 pounds, 80 pounds heavier than me. He's a full-blown man, and I like.
It's what you think you are.
Yeah.
It's what you know you are, and that teaches you, right? That on the mat.
Yeah, if you know, and if you believe in yourself. And I look at all my times in jiu-jitsu where I've lost, it's just because I didn't believe in myself. I got in my own head, you know, or I respected the person too much. It's like, oh, this guy's a Brazilian, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are tough, you know, and like, you know, it's just weird, like your own head. You can be confident.
You psych yourself out.
But you can psych yourself out, so.
And other times that there's no way that you should have won, right?
Right, yeah. So,
like the bodybuilder, for example, or whoever comes in. That's just the know, lower level, but in competition and stuff. Yeah,
it all comes down to like, you know, like you can be confident, but like, the minute like self-doubt comes in, it's out the window, you know? Yeah. So.
You were teaching kids too, like wrestling, right? You spent some years coaching kids for wrestling, even in your after-school program.
We like dominated, like we were state and city champions, like 3 years in a row. Like tore it up, you know. The kids, those are the only tournaments that were like local, like wrestling tournaments that like were guaranteed happening every year. So all the parents looked forward to that. Like we do jiu-jitsu, and then like we would practice jiu-jitsu like the whole time, and then like right before wrestling season, we'd be like, okay, guys, we're gonna start no chokes. No arm bars, you know, just the object is to pin your opponent, and that's it, you know, no guard work. So, I mean, they did really well. I was super proud, like, just to see all the kids with like their trophies and stuff. And
it's that same feeling, right? That you sharing with them, making them believe in themselves.
And like seeing how excited the parents were, you know, like knowing that, like, you know, that what I was offering them, they were pleased with. With what they were getting, you know, because, you know, sometimes, like, you know, when you have parents paying you money, you know, you feel like you gotta deliver, give out, and produce, you know, like a champion. Or so that knowing that that I was making them happy, and that they saw like so much growth out of their kids, that's what kept me like excited about it. You know, that's what made me feel good. You know, like, you know, parents would be like, my son's not good. My son's never been good at anything. And all of a sudden, like, he's a state champion. I would have never ever guessed that my son he had, you know, like feet and ankle and like hip problems. You know, the doctors would have said like, no, he can't do jiu-jitsu. You know, he shouldn't do jiu-jitsu.
It's not good enough.
But like I trusted the place, and now my son's a state champion wrestler. You know, never. And so that makes me feel good, especially knowing that like you help a kid that everybody already wrote off as like, oh, it's okay. You know, you could be the gatekeeper. You know, you can, you know, you just keep it. And it's like, no, man, I want to run this whole show. You know, it's the kids that, and if you let them believe that, if you give them the opportunity to believe, they will believe in themselves. They will. You know, they're fearless. You know, they don't see the world the way. As you grow into an adult, you start to realize like how scary the world is, and you start to be more shy and timid in your approach. And with these kids, it's like, it was like the crucial times to where they're developing all that, you know.
Get in their heads, right?
Yeah. Like at some point,
how powerful a coach is.
Yeah. Like at some point, like when you were a kid, you know, like somebody to pull a video camera out or like a camera and take pictures, and you were like making funny faces and like, and then like slowly through time, as time goes by, you turn into like someone puts the camera out and you're like, no.
People get beaten down, huh?
Yeah. You get shy. You don't want to be on camera anymore. It's like, why? When you were a little kid, why did you were so excited about being on top of the table, like in your underwear, you know, like with a towel on, like, you know, like you're Superman, like, you know what I mean? But as you got older, like something happened, like people get in your head, you self-doubt, like all this stuff. You don't think you're pretty, you don't think you're good looking, you know, and then before you know it, you're that person, like, like don't take pictures of me, you know, because you're embarrassed or you're shy, you know. So I think jiu-jitsu just kind of helps you break through all that stuff and says like, it doesn't matter. Like someone's going to judge you. Who cares? You know who you are, you know who you are. Like, cause you can talk all the crap, you can talk all the talk, but when you get on that mat, we're all the same, you know, and the one, and
rich, poor,
and
skinny, fat.
And your money's not going to be out there on the mat. It's just how hard you work, the work you put in.
Spirit.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's what I gained the most out of jiu-jitsu, you know. And then like the relationships with people, you know, like seeing like, you know, I feel like when you grapple with somebody, it's like you can kind of get to know somebody a lot better than just like, hi, my name's so-and-so, nice to meet you. There's so much more like energy when you're just like, you know, rubbing sweat and just like going hard, and you know, and you just, you know, you turn into brothers kind of, you know, especially like all the years with me training with Tom and Cliff and all the tough guys that we had in Santa Fe, you know, like Robert Vasquez, like all those, Warren. I remember just seeing all those guys, like we all sharpened each other, you know, and it was, and we created a brotherhood, you know.
Yeah.
So like I'm so grateful. Like Tom was like, Tom and Ben, those guys, some like my favorite training partners coming up, and like I think I'm like, what happens if they were, if Tom wouldn't have been at the gym? What my training would have been different. What if Ben wasn't there? What if it was just, you know? So I'm always grateful for that, the fact that they like were able to share their body, like we were sharing each other's bodies, you know, and we were learning from each other, and we were all gaining like
themselves, right?
Yeah,
sharing themselves,
we were all like,
giving a part of themselves to you, and you vice versa.
Yeah. So it was awesome. That was a lot of good memories, you know. And then just growing up and looking up, I was the youngest one out of the camp, and I just looking up at all the guys and seeing like, you know, like I looked up to everybody, man. Like everybody, you the most, you know, but
But had a lot of tough guys, right? A bunch of guys went to UFC, bunch of world champions, you know.
Yeah, a lot of tough females.
Yeah, CJ won the worlds, you know.
Sarah Boyd was
She was
tough,
the first female American, right?
Yeah, that was
world
big.
champion. Yeah,
that was big. Yeah, so yeah, you had something special in Santa Fe. It was sad that you had to move to LA. I was bummed, but you know, it's cool that I get to come out here and
legacy. So what's your you've been here this week, and your legacy. So what's the feeling you get when you look around and you see the people and the environment and the culture we have?
I just feel like you guys are all connected. Like you guys are all on the same wavelength. You guys are all like, you know, reading the same page, and everybody's just like it's a good vibe out here. It's a good vibe. Everybody's just like, you know, so like everyone wants to help each other, you know. So you go to some other gyms and it's just like everybody for themselves, and just like nobody shares knowledge, you know. You guy will tap you out or something, and he'll be like, oh, like this is and he'll show you like exactly what he did, you know, instead of just being like keeping it. That's what I love about this place, is just everyone's so warm and welcoming, and it's not about who's better than who. It's just about like the relationships and just like, and like the energy, and that everybody's like trying to get fit and like more healthy and be the better version of themselves. That's kind of like that's why I like this place so much. And you can't like, I go to gyms all the time. Every time I'm out, I go and try other gyms, and I just don't. Some gyms are good, but like they just don't have it. You know, I think that's what makes that's what makes your gym so special, is like you have the right amount of everything. You have the perfect balance, you know. You're tough. It's not too like, you know, it's not like weak, but it's not like too intense to where certain people don't feel comfortable in here, you know.
Right.
Everybody.
We have tough guys, competitors.
You have
but you know, we have tough guys,
you
lifestyle
know?
people, right?
Yeah, just
but we all
people.
work together to.
Yeah. So
there's a respect.
Yeah, there's a respect, and it doesn't really matter. You guys treat each other. You guys treat everybody like human beings in here, not just like you know, like punching bags and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to a place and, you know, they just want to use your body just to spar, you know, and you're just like, nah, I'm not into it, you know. You're actually learning and growing and like being better than actually like being beat up.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
But
what about TAC-FIT? You need to TAC-FIT yesterday morning, right? And you know, me, you know, I'm always talking about it. I got you to come do a TAC-FIT certification. I think it was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah. TAC-FIT's been a game changer for me, just as far as just like all the injuries that I've had, like just through life, you know.
Spend some time with you. Was it today or yesterday? Just on stretching, right?
Stretching, helping my
understanding
neck,
what's going on.
Yeah, like everything's connected. Yeah, it's been a game changer for me. Some of the things that I've never thought I could like do, you know, because I thought I was injured or thought it was bad for me. Like my neck, like all those exercises that you showed me over the years, and with my scaps and keeping my posture straight. It's helped a lot. It's like, it's got me to the point to where I can train. I can come, I can still come over here.
All week,
and my neck's not bothering me. You know what I mean? Like before, I would be all like messed up, you know. But
you wouldn't know what to do. I didn't know what to tell you, right?
Like the whole system with TAC-FIT, like how to strengthen your neck, and also how to relax it, how to relax the neck, release the tension. You know, break through the fascia and stuff. It's helped, you know. It's helped. And my neck's strengthened my neck, and it's also, I've gotten more flexibility out of it, and I feel like, you know, as long as I'm careful, I can keep doing this for a while.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? Be your best at every age, you know, keep training, right? So till the end.
Right. Yeah. Don't stop. Yeah.
Play with our kids, play with our grandkids.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta be able to do that, you know, otherwise it's like, what are you doing this for? You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I told Melody. I'm like, I want to be like, sometimes like parents, you get like stiff and you're like, oh, Dad, come throw a baseball with me. And you're instead of, you know, popping off the couch and saying, okay, let's go. You're like, I don't know, you know, and then, you know, if you're not feeling it, then he's going to feel like that you're not feeling it.
Like I was, you know?
Yeah.
I had so many injuries and the MS thing. I was like, I get emotional talking about it, you know? That's why I believe in the TAC with gyms in all the communities, you know? We need the place like that. Of course, I love jiu-jitsu, so it'd be both in one place, you know? But some people don't want to do jiu-jitsu, right? But everybody can benefit from TAC Fit.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like TAC Fit, like, people don't even know.
Right.
Yeah, people don't even know yet.
Coming.
Yeah. Like even sometimes when I'm doing stuff at the gym, like people walk up to me and they'll be like, "What is that?" I'm like, it's TAC Fit, and they're like, "TAC Fit," and then like I show them like, I'll like show them like to your page and stuff, and then they're like, I don't know if you ever get like random followers, you know?
Yeah.
So but yeah, I try to, you know, I let them know, you know, like this is the smartest workout, you know, this is what you should be doing, you know, especially if at your age, if you have injuries or you've played football or, you know, and you think you think you should stop doing something. You don't need to stop. You just got to like look at the approach and, you know, and follow the like the structure, you know, follow the lesson plan, like
the process, right?
The process and trust the process and don't be so like be patient, you know.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you, brother. Always great hanging out with you.
Hanging out with you, brother.
And love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
And
so grateful, man.
Thank you, man.
Still got a lot of life to live. We still got a lot of memories to make. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, this is only the beginning. That's the way I look at it.
That's it.
Thanks so much.